There are tons of videos on YouTube about why Atlantis is good, bad, underrated, overrated, perfect, trash. I could go on forever. So in this video, I don't want to repeat what others have already said before, but more so provide my personal view and what I have learned from this movie as a creator myself. Atlantis: The Lost Empire is a movie that came out in 2001, and I watched it in movie theaters as a young child. For some reason it was always my favorite, but I didn't really have the words to explain why. Of course, I like the adventure, I found the characters pretty, I like the design of the city and the jokes, and even as a child I was always very attracted to a little bit darker storytelling. Other than these things, I think what fascinated me the most was the tight storytelling. What do I mean by that? If we just take a quick look at the genre and runtime, it's nothing special really. It's a 1.5 hour long animated children adventure movie. Pretty standard and nothing we haven't seen before in other mediums. But then I think the creators of Atlantis got possessed and created a million characters with all unique backstories, gigantic robo-monsters, a whole underwater world, and a whole language for this movie. This meant they had to show us all of this and wrap up the whole story in 96 minutes, while also putting their own spin on the story itself. Let's talk about some examples. The first thing I find very interesting is that we never really see the inciting incident on screen. We get some hints, but we never see Milo, our main character. Why is he so determined? What is the exact moment he started to seek out this expedition so desperately? The character introductions are also very brief, and we don't get much time to get used to the new characters. We have to get to know them on the go, a lot of the time during action scenes. I think that's why a lot of people feel like the movie is too fast-paced, but I personally love this. This literally forces the creators to show, not tell. We still get some quiet time too, like at the beginning of the expedition when a giant monster attacks the submarine and the crew has to evacuate. There is a moment of silence where the whole team mourns the crew members they have lost. Or when they finally find Atlantis and for a moment everyone is just standing there staring. Another thing I really like about this movie is Kida, and not just her character, but also how the movie fixes its own problems regarding her. We only meet her in the second half of the movie, which is kinda dangerous considering the fact that she is one of our main characters. But then again, we realize very early that she is the little girl from the opening scene, which gives us a stronger emotional bond and provides some background knowledge. Maybe my only complaint here is that later on they make her turn into a crystal thing, and while this is my favorite scene of the movie, after this she doesn't speak or anything. I wish we had more scenes with Kida, but I think we get to know her enough to know that we really like her. So, as I probably mentioned in the video's title, what can we learn from all of this? And the answer is a lot. First thing, I myself am a kind of storyteller who cannot for the life of me write a short story. I always have more and more to say, and I love to build elaborate worlds and lots of characters. Sounds familiar? And while I am making indie comics technically without restrictions, I still have to think about my own time and resources. Not to mention, back in school I did have time limits also. And this leads to our first lesson, or at least one I try to keep in mind, that is, every second matters. Or in the case of a comic, every panel, but you know what I mean. This doesn't mean that every single frame has to be perfect, or the story cannot have flaws, because nothing is perfect, but we really have to think how to put together a scene. Let's take a look at Milo's introduction. The first shot of the scene is outside the museum with the date and place. Then there is Milo holding a presentation to an audience we cannot see. He seems very competent and collected, talking about Atlantis and establishing some information to us. He takes up most of the screen and we are almost looking up to him, as we, the viewer, are the audience sitting there. His passion and knowledge is very clear from this. Everything is going great, he presents his discovery and then the phone rings. His demeanor instantly changes, and now the camera is zoomed out. He awkwardly leans over the board to pick up the phone. The room seems even more cluttered now. We also see a handrail behind him. He first answers the phone confidently, but the call turns out to be a complaint regarding the boiler. That's when we realize he was never actually holding a presentation, and his room is actually a boiler room in the basement. From this moment on, the whole mood changes. Milo is much more awkward and messes up, but he still continues on. Now he also seems much smaller on the screen. Then the clock goes off, he picks up his stuff and for a moment stops at a picture of his grandfather. After this, he gets a notice first about his presentation getting rescheduled, then cancelled, ending on a negative tone. What did this scene achieve so far? It introduced our main character and showed him from different aspects. It also showed us his motivations, his achievements. It showed some background information, his relationship with his grandfather, and it showed us he's continuously working to find Atlantis. Secondly, it established basic rules and background knowledge about Atlantis itself, and it set goals for the rest of the movie. Lastly, it also showed us how the world itself sees him. Every second and shot makes us feel something or explain something about the world or Milo. Half of these are not even said out loud, they are only context clues. And even at this rate, the movie stops for one quiet moment, when he looks at the picture of his grandfather, before picking up the pace again with the notice. I am no professional writer, but I love to analyze movies, comics and video games, and I always try to dig deep and learn something from them. My takeaways from this to keep my own work tight are: every sentence and shot has to tell us something or make us feel something. This of course doesn't mean there can be silly moments or just quiet sitting around. Those scenes are just as important in a story as a punch in an action scene. The other thing is the show don't tell kinda rule. You have probably heard it a million times before. But this is kinda true for talking as well, in a sense of people almost never say what they really feel. And not because they try to be secretive, or at least not always. Sometimes characters themselves don't really understand what they feel, or something is just stopping them. Like this scene Milo is putting in a show, not because he's an actor or because he's a kind of character who hides his feelings, his excitement shines through everything, but because this is a structure this world operates on, and this is how he fights for his goals. He is not a knight in shining armor saving a city from a dragon who has to be brave against a monster. He's a guy trying to be brave enough to do a presentation in front of people who don't take him seriously. This affects every sentence and action. So making him speak doesn't just give us information about the topic he's talking about, but we also get to know him based on how he talks or acts. There are many more scenes in this movie I could watch on repeat, because I always discover little detail I missed before. One of my absolute favorite scenes I've already mentioned is the one where Kida transforms. The animation and music is just so good. It is also a good example where the movie lets go of the intensity when it comes to information and it just happens. I think this decision makes it even more powerful, as the characters don't really talk during the transformation or even after. Honestly, I could go on forever about this movie. Other than the narrative tools, I also have to mention I adore the dynamic of the characters. Even when they are all working together and friendly to each other, there are a lot of friction and small conflicts, which makes it so enjoyable to watch their interactions. The animation and designs are also beautiful, and I can never get bored of the Leviathan and the flying fish vehicles. But what about you? Let me know if you agree or disagree with my thoughts in the comment section. What do you find interesting about this movie, or if you happen to dislike it, why? Also, if you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing, or maybe check out my comic. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year over on Webtoon. And let me know if there is a topic or piece of media you would like to hear about next.